Hello everyone, this is part 27 of my Hocus Pocus dollhouse videos, and if you are a cat lover then you will love this video because this one is all about Binks, and we're going to work on him today. And I think that's probably it, but it's going to be a good video and I love how it's turned out, so I can't wait for y'all to see it. Okay, so today I am going to work on my little cat Binks, and this is the cat that I've had, and I do like the flocking, like the little fuzzy flocking stuff that's on him. I think that looks really cool. And this one's really cute. I like him a lot, but he is just a little bit small and he's just not really detailed. I want something that's a little bit more real. And he is cute, but I did get to go out this weekend and I found something that I think is better. I found this little guy, and actually he had this little tag on him, and of course I've just took that off. And all I'm going to have to do to this one is paint him up. And I think he looks really cool. I mean, he's got more character than this little cat. There's a big difference in the size, and this one kind of bugs me because he won't stand up too good. But there we go. You know, this one's just way more, I don't know what word I'm wanting to use. It's just more lively looking, more real. And all I've really got to do is just paint him. But before I paint him, I'm going to go over it with a Sharpie permanent marker. Now this one has got like a brush tip on it, and I thought this would be good because, you know, when you draw or mark on something, that ink usually will over time just sort of soak in to the plastic or the vinyl. So I thought this would be a really good idea, and this can be under the paint, so if the paint ever chips it will still be black underneath that. So actually that's turning out really cool, but I don't love the color. It's not exactly black, it almost looks purple even though it's a black Sharpie, but it'll be okay because like I said, it'll bleed into it and it'll stay on there really good. Oh, and actually there's one more thing I need to do right quick before I get too far on this. There is a logo right on his little belly. I doubt that's showing up because, you know, this light drowns it out. But there's a little logo, and anyway, I'm going to take my blade and I'm just going to kind of shave that off so that logo isn't standing out, because I don't really want that to stand out so much. Alright, so I've got my blade, and look, I've actually got one that has a handle. Usually I'm just having to hold that little bitty blade, but I'm just going to just carefully carve that logo away so you don't really notice it, because I'm afraid it might show up more once I get it painted. And I ain't cutting real deep or anything, I'm just barely going over it enough to where it ain't sticking out. And just gotta be real careful when you use a blade. I don't think it'll slip. If it hits anything, it's going to hit his little leg before it will my fingers. So usually you want to cut away from your hand, of course, but I just got to get that little logo trimmed off there, and then I'll finish coloring it with that marker. And I think that looks pretty good. Oh, no, actually there's stuff over here on this leg. Now this one logo, it's really sticking out. Just like a little thing they had in the mold when they made it. So sorry to take the logo off, but we don't really want words on our little... I'm cutting him in a very awkward place down here, but just don't want that logo showing up. Okay, so I've got that carved away, and now I've just got to, whoops, I've just got to finish coloring him with this. And I'm not going to get it too close to the eyes, because if this does start to bleed in time... Oh my gosh, there goes my phone again. In time, I don't want this to bleed and get too black around the eyes, because it might cover the actual eye, which I guess I could always go back in and paint them, but I'm going to try not to mess up the eyes on this, since they're already the color that I want them to be. And when I go to paint the black around the face, I don't know if I'm going to be able to paint around his eyes without getting black on the eyeball, so I'm going to try really hard to just go around them. And you know, Jason Marsden is the actor, the voice actor for Binks, and I've actually met him once. You know, he lives in Tennessee, which is of course where I live, and we've met him once, and he signed a couple of things for us. And me and a friend, well, me and two friends, we've dressed up one year for Halloween, and I was Billy Butcherson, and my friend was Binks, and then my other friend was Sarah. Oh, and my mama was Mary. But then we've dressed up like Hocus Pocus, I think twice. And of course, every time I'm always Billy. So, of course, I don't see how I could be anybody else with me sharing the same name as Billy Butcherson. This is looking really cool. I like that he's getting black, because now he's starting to look like Binks. So once I get this done, I'll just paint him, I guess, with acrylic paint. I'm hoping that will stick to this. It should. I'm not going to be handling it a whole lot. He's got some texture to him, so it'll hopefully stick good to that texture that he's got. Alright, so I've got him all colored with the marker, and I did actually go pretty close to those eyeballs, because I just don't know how well I'm going to do with the paint. I think it might even just be easier to just go ahead and paint the eyes and then repaint those later. I just don't think it's possible to get close enough without touching the eye, so I may just paint the whole thing and then just paint them back on later. Of course, I've not got the tip of the tail, because that's what I'm holding for it to, you know, to color it. And I think I've got it all pretty well covered. I'm just going to put on something. I'm weird. I don't want to get the ink on my hand, but I'll put a little glove on or something to where I can handle the other part. But I want to make sure that this dries really good before I try to put the paint over this, because I don't know if they'll have like a chemical reaction. I don't think it's going to show if it does. I mean, I can't imagine it doing anything, but just to be on the safe side, I want to make sure that this is dry before I try to paint it. And of course, I'll have to get something and grab a hold of him so I can paint the tip of the tail. Okay, so I got my tweezers. I'm just going to paint the tail. And I'll have to share a picture of us at Halloween couple of those in this video since my friend was dressed up like Thackeray Binks. And I may share a picture of when we met Jason Marsden and some of the things that he signed for us. I think he signed my spell book, and then my friend had this black cat hand puppet that he signed, and it was so cool because the hand puppet that we took, Jason Marsden actually put his hand in the puppet and was moving its mouth and stuff and talking in the Thackeray Binks voice. We should have videoed that, but it was just cool that he's actually sat there playing with it for so long. And now I've noticed that when he goes to conventions and stuff, he actually has a puppet like the one we showed him. So that, and I think he takes that to all the conventions now. But there's my little Binks, and I'm just gonna let that dry for a little bit, and then I'll come back and get him painted up. And that may be all I do today. Just a little short video, because I don't really have. I've got the stuff to do the other things I'm wanting to do, but I just got to get more in the mood to do it. I've just been kind of busy today doing some other stuff. So I think this is going to turn out really cool. Right now he kind of looks purple. I don't know if that shows up. It looks like Panther from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. He's giving off little Panther vibes. But we'll get rid of that purple with the acrylic. Okay, so I've gone around one eye just to see how well I could do it. And it actually, I went over around this eye here, the left eye. And it actually, I did it really good. So I'm going to try to go around the left, no, the right eye, whatever eye I'm doing. That's the one I'm going to do right now. It's not as hard as I thought. I've got this tiny brush and don't want too much paint on it because I don't want it to glob up in there. But I just really shouldn't be talking. I mean, I should just be real still and try to do it without talking. And of course here I'm talking, but it goes on pretty good. Just another little speck right here. Wait, I ain't even touching it. I'm wanting to see how it looks in the camera. I want to watch it in the camera, but I know I better not do that. Ta-da! Yeah, I got it. Okay, so now the rest of it will be pretty easy. Now I don't, like I said, I don't want to get it real thick. I don't want it to gloop up. I gotta look and see what color his little mouth is. I don't know if his mouth is black or sort of a pinkish color. I think he's pretty much all black. So, that looks so good. I didn't think I was going to be able to paint around the eyes as well as I did, but with this teeny tiny brush, I was able to do it. And I like that. See, he's got sort of a shiny color to him, and I don't really like that shininess, but of course that's just the magic marker. This paint will not be shiny. It'll be a little bit shiny, but not as much as that marker is. Of course black cats do sort of have a shine to them, but I may go over it with a matte gloss. Is there such a thing as a matte gloss? Does that even make sense, a matte gloss? If it's matte, would it be glossy? I don't know. But maybe go over it with some sort of clear coat. Oh wow, that's looking so good. Can you tell a difference in the black paint versus the purple body? Yeah, that looks so cool. See, I'm leaning back to look in the camera every little bit, but I absolutely love the black paint. Oh my gosh, she looks so cool. And I love that the eyes are already painted. That way I don't have to try to do that tiny little detail. I can't believe I was able to get around those eyes as good as I did. But man, that looks so cool. I'm so excited. I mean, he just looks really neat. Like, I'll have to get some really cool pictures. Okay, so I went away from the camera and now I've come back, of course, and I don't even know what I was talking about when I stopped. I need to look back, see what I was talking about. But one thing I'll mention is I used to have a black cat, and we went to visit some people in Louisiana, and there was a little stray black cat, and we brought him home, and it was a boy, so we named him Sam. It was short for Samantha, because, you know, him being a boy, we just wanted to name him Sam. And of course Samantha being from Bewitched. So my little black cat was Sam. But something happened to him. He got this little spot on his little jaw, and you know, we didn't notice it at first. We don't know if this had anything to do with him dying or whatever, but before we could ever even get anything done about it, he died. So that's sort of pitiful, but I miss that little black cat. We didn't even get to have him that long, but that little cat traveled with us all the way from Louisiana. He was just a little cat at the time. He wasn't exactly a kitten, but he was probably like what I'd call a little teenage cat, like a little teenager in cat years. But he rode in the car all the way up from Louisiana to Tennessee on our laps, and he's a real pretty cat. If I find a picture of him, I'll post it at the end of the video so y'all can see Sam. I know there's a picture of him on my Facebook someplace, but I would love to have another black cat. I had the chance recently to get one. It was just like a little baby kitten, and it wasn't even really old enough to really be taken away from its mama, so I didn't get it. It just wasn't the right time to get him. So maybe one day I'll get another black cat, but for now I'll just have to stick with this little thing. My niece, she has a black cat actually, and if I get one, I'll probably actually name it Binks. It's kind of hard to tell where I've painted and where I've not painted. It doesn't look like I've painted right here. Let me see. Alright, it looks like maybe I've got it all. Of course, I've got to do the tip of that tail. Nope, I see a spot that I missed. It's kind of hard to tell with that magic marker there. And like right on the top of his little foot. But that looks really good. I am so excited about this cat. Now I'll let him dry, and then I'll get the tip of that tail. I think the head's dry enough to touch, because I had that done already. But here, what am I doing? I'm going over it again. Now, of course, it's not dry, but anyway, I'll stand him up here. let it dry, and then I'll take some pictures of it. Whoops, wait, I see you. See, every time the more I look at him, I see little spots I've missed. You just gotta make sure you get down in those little creases, those little hairs that's carved into it. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so I've got him painted, and actually it's like crazy because as I was handling this, the paint kinda came off easy. And not only that, but even the marker. So maybe I'm just handling it too soon, I don't know. But I've got him sitting here and I've touched up the spots that was kind of wanting to pull off. Maybe once it's totally dry, if I could find patience enough to leave it alone and let it dry, maybe I could go over it with a clear coat, and I know the clear coat would keep it on, so that's what I will do. Now I'm going to check out this little light that I've got. See, it's like a magnifying light, and that doesn't really want to focus on that camera. I guess that's clear enough, but you can sort of see him there. But that's pretty cool. I like this light. I should have used this when I was painting around the eyes, but and it's kind of cool because you can do the full circle light or just half the circle light. So anyways, there he is. I'm going to leave him alone until he's dry, and then I'll come back and do some pictures of him. Okay, I have had a time with this camera. It is almost ready to just bite the dust. Like, it is probably not got much more time to be used. I don't know if I'll even get this filmed, but I've had to use my phone to do some of this, but I've got the camera working long enough to hopefully get this done. I'm going to quickly just show some more things since this episode's about Binks. These little cookies, this is a little box of cookie mix, but I've never made it. But I just thought the box was cute, so I've got those. This little Danny Pop, she's holding a little Binks. I thought that was super cute. And then I've got this little Binks. It's a Funko Pop. It's really, really cute. That's probably my favorite little pop they've made so far in the Hocus Pocus collection. And then the last thing that I want to show, this is my book. I will talk about this later in another video when I make another book. But this is the spell book that I had made, and this is where Jason Marsden signed it. And also down here is Doug Jones, who was Billy Butcherson. So here's my little Binks. The paint has dried pretty good. This is like about a day later, and it turned out really good. I like it. So now I'll show you some pictures from how he looks when he's prowling around through the house.